rewrites the rules of Arctic power. What makes Greenland so valuable? Its vast reserves of critical minerals and rare earth elements, the backbone of modern technology. These minerals power everything from smartphones to fighter jets and are essential for green energy and advanced manufacturing. For years, China has dominated the global supply, leaving the West vulnerable to supply shocks and political leverage. The race is on to find alternative sources, and Greenland is a game changer. The island holds some of the world's largest undeveloped deposits of rare earths and other strategic minerals, including molybdenum for high-strength steel. For the US and Europe, securing Greenland's resources is a matter of economic security and geopolitical power. Whoever controls these minerals will shape the industries and militaries of tomorrow. The recent Canada-Greenland deal has sent shockwaves worldwide, as control over these resources means control over the future. This isn't just about mining, it's about who leads in the 21st century. In June 2025, Greenland granted a 30-year mining permit to Toronto-based Greenland Resources Inc. The company will develop the Malmbjerg molybdenum project, a massive mine in eastern Greenland. This project is set to supply a quarter of the EU's annual demand for molybdenum, vital for steel and defense industries. The deal is a leap toward Greenlandic economic independence, promising nearly $1 billion in tax revenue and reducing reliance on Danish subsidies. For Canada, it's a strategic win, linking North American resources directly to Europe and bypassing US and Chinese influence. With offtake agreements in Finland and Italy, the project cements a new Canada-Greenland EU axis in the Arctic. This partnership is reshaping the region's economic and political landscape. The Canada-Greenland deal hit Washington like a shockwave. Donald Trump, quick to respond, called it a catastrophic failure of American leadership, a deal he once tried to secure. He warned that the agreement undermined U.S. interests and Arctic security, accusing Canada of betraying North American unity. U.S. officials echoed these concerns, pointing out that America remains dependent on China for critical minerals, while its allies forge ahead. The Pentagon and State Department worried the deal could weaken North American defense integration and shift the Arctic balance. In a scramble to catch up, the U.S. Export-Import Bank announced support for a separate Greenland rare earth project, but the move seemed reactive and limited. The narrative in Washington quickly turned to one of lost influence and missed opportunity. The U.S. now finds itself on the outside, watching as its closest allies build new supply chains without it. The deal has exposed vulnerabilities in America's resource strategy and challenged its long-standing dominance in the region. For Trump and his supporters, it's a bitter reminder of a deal that slipped away. The U.S. is left to reconsider its Arctic ambitions as the world's attention shifts northward. The message is clear. America can no longer assume it will lead in the Arctic. The race for resources has a new set of players. The fallout from the Greenland deal has chilled U.S.-Canada relations, straining a partnership built on decades of trust. Washington sees Canada's move as prioritizing its own interests over continental security, raising questions about future cooperation. Some U.S. lawmakers now view Canada as a competitor in the Arctic resource race, not just an ally. Canada defends the deal as a sovereign decision that strengthens Western supply chains and benefits all democracies. But this multipolar approach clashes with America's traditional leadership role. The immediate result, a sense of distance and uncertainty between the two neighbors. The Arctic is now a fault line, with the US and Canada pursuing diverging strategies. far north is being rewritten. Greenland's story is a preview of a world where competition for critical resources defines global politics. The Canada-Greenland Pact is just the opening move in the resource wars of the 21st century. As demand for rare earths and strategic minerals grows, nations will see supply chains as vital to security, sometimes more than military might. The Arctic, rich in untapped wealth, is set to become a flashpoint for rivalry among the US, Russia, China, Canada, and the EU. The question is whether these powers can cooperate, or if the scramble for resources will spark new conflicts. The Greenland deal has drawn a new line in the snow, signaling that the fight for the future's building blocks has already begun. The world must now decide. Will this new era be shaped by collaboration, or by confrontation, over the elements that power our lives?